Finally, we are here and we can hear each other. Nice to have you here, Gid. How's going?
It's great, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on here. I think this is my first Discord AMA I've done in a long time, probably since the last bull market. So
Nice.
I'm glad to be here.
So we are going
Yeah.
we are going to bring good old bull vibes back with this AMA.
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
That,
To Sui and Solana. We got some cool
yes,
stuff to talk about on both chains.
Sui and Solana and Mad Lights on top, along with Backpack. Thank you for being here today. Sorry for this hiccup. I don't know what happened with my mic and with my PC. I did Discord update and something happened, obviously. Very happy to have you here today, and thanks everyone that joined the AMA. We are doing the special one today with Gid. He is the legend in the space, and we are going to dive deeper today into Backpack, Mad Lads, Sui Land, and everything else that we planned for today. So before we start, I already introduced Gid. He is the legend. He is leading the Sui Land, and he is one of very active person in the space, and I am proud to have him here today. We are also going to dive deep into Rootlets, the NFT that he's rocking today. That is amazing community, and as everyone remember, Armani rocked Rootlets for a few days, and that's how I found out about the project. And I was we made a joke on Twitter, and Gid, I almost got fired up from this position because I made that post, because they told me, hey motherfucker, you cannot joke on 9/11 like that. And I was like, hey, that's a regular that's a regular crypto joke that we are making, like nothing serious, nothing personal. And don't get Matt Vincent so serious sometimes, because I'm not. I'm here to have fun and have fun with all of you, and bring back the Mad vibes, and that's my job and that's what I'm doing. So that's how it goes. So before we start, happy to have you here once again. Are you going to do a quick introduction about yourself on your part, and
Yeah,
dive us deeper into Suiland and what it's all about? But let's start. Let's introduce you. How did you start in this space? How everything started? Let's go from the scratch.
yeah. So I've been in crypto for a few years. My first professional experience was OpenSea. I joined pretty early, so was very into NFTs early on. And I joined. I met Rooter and the Selen team when they were still Selen a few years ago, and then recently, maybe in the last year, end of 2023, met up with Rooter again at a conference. We were just talking. They're telling me about Three, and to be honest, I didn't know much about Three at the time, but I was looking for the next thing, so decided to join. My first project was Rootlets, so our NFT. So it's like we're kind of making like a mini cult off Rooter's PFP. And actually, we did during our giveaways, we did do something with Mad Lads. We gave a bunch of whitelists out. I think you guys were super. We got quite a lot of uptake from you guys. So thanks again for supporting us back then. And so yeah, we right now on Sui, we have the number one DeFi protocol. So Suiland is our main lending protocol. We also have the number one LST S3, made with our LST protocol Spring Sui. And we also have our new AMM. And so I'm very excited to be talking to you, explaining all of that to you guys today. I'm sure some of you guys are already familiar. And we actually, just to remind everyone, we have a really cool activation with the Backpack wallet, which started last week. It's going on until the end of the month. So we can also go through that. But yeah, that's kind of everything we'll go over today.
Yeah, perfect. And for those that don't know, we are going to do a stream today with Gid. He will dive us deeper into how the whole campaign was created, what we need to do, what we can do on Sui Land, on Sui, inside the Backpack, and why we are here actually today. But before that, before we go dive deeper into that, tell us about your relation with OpenSea and how everything went there, because my first how I joined actually NFT space, it was early. I was early on NBA Top Shot, and after that, of course, everyone moved to NFTs. I missed the trains because I faded. My friends that everyone was rotating NBA Top Shot profits into NFTs, into Bored Ape Yacht Club, into Punks.
Yeah.
But I was regular user on OpenSea. I did like 2,000 transactions back then, so I burned like 15 ETH,
Nice.
15 ETH only on gas. Because back in the days, it was normal to do a transaction and pay 60 to 100 bucks for
Of
one
course.
transaction. It was a good old days, and we moved.
Back when people still use ETH.
Yeah. That's how it goes. We didn't know Solana didn't exist. We didn't know what is the cheap fees. We thought $60 per transaction was normal stuff, and actually it didn't turn out well. So tell us, how did you start working with OpenSea before we continue more? I like to know that part of your history.
Yeah. Well, actually, how it started was I was doing some freelance marketing and working some projects, and one of my clients just airdropped me this NFT, and I just like saw it. I was like, "Oh, cool, thanks." I looked at OpenSea. It was like 4 ETH, so I immediately like G'd it. I sold it for 4 ETH. It was like I think that was like $7,000. I was like, "Oh wow, I'm a genius for being able to flip something like this, right?" And then I have the tab open of the project, and I come back like maybe like a week later, and the floor price on the NFT is like 20 ETH, and I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" But it turns out that Logan Paul had started shilling that project, and so of course everything just pumped. And then all this was happening on OpenSea, and so I just like kind of clicked around. I was like, "Oh, this place seems like a really cool place to work. Like maybe they're hiring," and thankfully they were. And it took me a few emails, but finally I was able to get like an interview. And luckily, I was based in Asia, and so they were looking for someone to kind of help with like Asia hours. So it just was like perfect timing. And then from then, just like being able to understand the app, like how OpenSea worked, explain that to people, starting from the community side of things. That's kind of how I joined.
Nice. And as you can see, guys, from this AMA, like the whole point of those AMAs are diving deeper into people, careers, how they started, how they moved, and we just got on perfect alpha. So if you don't ask, you will not get a job, you will not get anything in this space. So feel free to show up more on the spaces, feel free to speak louder, and feel free at the end of the day, if you want to work with some companies, just ask them if they hiring or not. You already have a Mad Lad PFP, which is enough for you. So that's a starting point, and the whole doors in Web3 are open if you are connected, and this is like a perfect place where we all connecting and where we're sharing alpha, and we are explaining people how actually this space move. And as you can see, he was just a fan, and he's asked OpenSea, do you need someone who will help you with this and that, and they hired him. And this is like how Git career started. So this is like first alpha for today for you guys. If you didn't know, you need to ask, you need to rock Mad Lads or Rootlets or other NFT that will open doors. So this is how the place moving, and why I'm bullish actually on this space. For example, in backpack situation, they hired a lot of people from Mad Lads community to work with them. Like almost every employee on Backpack Exchange rocking Mad Lad NFT, they were the owners before they started to work with Backpack. And one of the way how they select people to work, the first step was if you have Mad Lad NFT. You don't need to buy or whatever, but if you are a holder and if they noticed you, have a better opportunity to get a job to work with them. And as you know, this is how it works, and this is the best way, in my understanding, how you can create a business. Because how you can create startup, it's small step, but you hiring people, your people that supported you since day one, and this is like an opportunity for everyone in this space. And this is like why I'm bullish on Web3 and how the space moving, because we are close knitted community and small space for now. We are going to grow, of course, but this is the way. Like if you are rocking an NFT of your community, of your project, you have a higher chance of getting hired in this space. And this is like another alpha that we are sharing today. Going back on Sui and Sui Land, tell us, when did you start, how it happened, what was the idea, and why Sui at the end of the day. Because after the backpacker announcement, a lot of lads become very bullish on Sui because we saw another opportunity to grow our portfolios and to explore another protocols and amazing stuff, and all of that thanks to backpack, because they were the one that did the due diligence for us, so we have a clear entry and clear understanding of what's going on, because they don't collab with anyone, they only collab with top tier projects. So tell us more how everything started and we go from there.
How everything started with like Sweeland or what?
Yeah, with Suiland and with why you pick
Yep.
up Sui on among the other chains. So tell us more about those two
Yeah.
collabs.
Yeah, so I think so. The decision to come to Sui was made before I joined. I joined like right as Sui launched, so that was like March, April of last year. But yeah, I think Rooter and the team had like talked to a few chains, but I think like you could just think of like the billions of R&D tech that would spin at Facebook to make their blockchain projects, and then they got rugged, right? So they went away and raised money with Sui. So you're kind of benefiting from all that R&D investment. The tech's really good. If you've used Sui, like, today, maybe on Backpack, right? Or, maybe use other wallets. Like, I think everyone I've introduced or onboarded to Sui, they're like, oh, wow, this is like, the UX is really good. It's kind of like that aha moment that probably a lot of people had when they first started using Solana compared to Ethereum. And so there's that one aspect of it. We've had a really good support, and I think like the Mython and Sui Foundation are just great partners. So that's another aspect of it. And then we launched a year ago. We had two other big lending protocols that had been on Sui for like a year, I think, ahead of us. But I think slowly we were able to kind of just like build up momentum and keep focusing on product. And eventually, we got the spot we are today. I think someone's asked in the comments, they go, why did you guys launch Roulets on Sui and not Solana? To be honest, we actually initially, like when I started, I was like thinking, why don't we launch it on Solana, given the team is coming from Solana. But obviously, like it's quite dynamic because you've got really good communities like yourselves already. And we were like, well, maybe, one of the reasons for doing this project is to kind of like bootstrap our new community. We had some pedigree coming from Solana to Sui, but like on Sui, we still have to fight and, build a business from scratch, right? So we ultimately made a decision where maybe it's more risky short term to do Sui, but maybe long term there's more upside because on Solana you've got Mad Labs, you've got Tensorians, you've got some other NFTs as well. It's quite cluttered. There's a lot of competition, right? But maybe on Sui you can become one of those guys. You become part of the chain's DNA, right? So that was kind of one of the decisions that eventually we were very like 50-50 at first, and then it just became more clear to do it on Sui. It made more sense.
Nice. And when you mentioned there is a competition and that there is a not easier market on Sui but less populated, tell us, since you are in Solana as well and on it, like, is there a difference in community vibes and how everything goes there compared to other chains when we mentioned that?
Yeah, I feel like Sui is still very new. You've definitely got a lot of OGs on there. I think Solana, right, like just especially this cycle, there's just more degen culture. It's more mature as a chain, as an ecosystem. So it's just a bit different. Whereas I feel like there's a lot of maybe new crypto users on Sui. I'm guessing like this might be their first cycle. So maybe they're just new to everything. So whereas I think people on Solana, you've probably been here for at least 4 or 5 years, right? So you've kind of seen a lot. I mean, especially the past 4 or 5 years on Solana, we don't have to talk about it, but obviously, like, there's been a lot of ups and downs, right? So, I think it's Sui is still new, for better or for worse.
Yeah, and so far I'm extremely bullish on Sui and what everything is building. But before we continue, we have a special guest today, which is Zach, our community manager, and as always, he has something to tell you. Zach, please.
Meow.
What you said?
Meow.
So you see with whom am I working, Gidwell? Like it's not easy job to handle those community members and people that work with Mad Lads. So thank you, Zach, for being on stage. You can go to school now. You are going back to audience, and we are continue our standard AMA. So we spoke about community there and vibes, which is again, it's a new chain, new people, everything is new. We are connecting with all of them. We are growing together. We are going back on Sui. You made a great achievement, which is 1 billion in total value locked by January 2025. So that's a huge number. Can you tell us what was the key and how did you manage to get that TVL at the end of the day? Like what was your recipe? So I can tell Armani and the guys from Backpack how they can ramp up their production and bring more people in.
Well, I have a really we'll get to the. So I'll just explain. So obviously we had it's a bit double counting the TVL, but we did have a billion locked, right? So like we had about 700 million to hit TVL on Sweeland. So that's the deposits minus borrows, right? And then we also had 300 million in Fleet that was staked to SpringSea, our LST protocol. So that's one of the things I've been talking to some of the Backpack team is, you guys are on Sui now. One of the things you guys should do is definitely, maybe think about doing an LST, right? You saw the other Purple wallet the other day launched their LST, right? So, it could be a good idea. Just putting some feelers out there. And later at the end of this, I guess we can maybe make Vincent Sui. So maybe people, you'll get some fans immediately.
Yeah, we can make it so we can dump on our audience later on today. Are you going to start streaming now? Can you open and show us how everything works inside Backpack? And we are going to explain everyone why this campaign was created and how you can participate into 10K giveaway.
Yes.
And you can as well earn some Send token, and Gid will dive us deeper. I'm also curious to know. So let's give the master a pen so he can show us.
One problem, it says I can't stream into this channel. So maybe you need to give me some permissions or something.
Oh, fuck. 1 second. Let me see how I can do that right now, if I can as well. I hate Discord for this reason only. 1 second. Anyone know how I can give him option to... 1 second. Let me try to add your role first. Maybe that will give an option. I give you role. Can you check now?
Looks like I can. All right.
1 second. Let me check again. Let me give another role. So we can try. Oh, now you can see. We can see you now. I think.
Yeah. You guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can see you. Amazing.
Cool. So this is Sweeland. This is our main app. You can see all the different assets. It's pretty straightforward. It's like a lending market. So we have S3, major assets here, different LFTs. Your stables, 3 ETH, which is basically ETH, Solana, of course. And then we have other isolated assets. Our asset is Send. So you often see people saying "send it" on Twitter, referring to that. And of course, to get started, there's only one wallet we want to click on right here.
Perfect.
Okay, now we're connected.
Yep.
And basically, the goal of the campaign. So that we have 2 different campaigns. I'll go through the first one now, which is basically to deposit into Sweeland with Backpack. So once you've connected Backpack wallet, you could just deposit any amount into Sweeland. Basically, the way it's working is we're doing like a ranked system. So the top 1,000 net new depositors. So that means like the deposits minus borrows. So if you let's say you deposit $1,000, but you immediately withdraw 1,000, like that'll count as 0. You'd have to keep it in there for at least I think 2 weeks would be safe. We're ending our season 2 in 2 weeks, so there'll be an airdrop in early June. So it's pretty good ROI, and you'd be getting like pretty good rewards because you're getting, let's say, if you were to deposit SWE, you're getting season 2 points. You're getting, in-kind interest of SWE and also rewards in SWE or LST. So you add our Send token on top of that, that's like, even more rewards, like 3x, 4x, right? So different strategies you can definitely do. If you're trying to maybe do stables, probably the best bet is to use Agora USD. This is by Van Eck, so it's pretty safe. And you're getting pretty good ROI. You're getting the highest Send points per dollar and then really high rewards on SWE. And also, like, on a day where SWE pumps, this ends up being like 8 or 9%. So, like, you might get double digits in dollar terms. So, some cool stuff there. We also have LBTC, WBTC. If you want to loop Bitcoin pairs, you can do that with Sweeland. And yeah, we also have isolated pairs. So we have some pretty high APRs on Walrus. So that's basically like the very simple activity you guys can do on Sweeland already.
And can you tell us, this is like a basic way, and is there any way how we can make our capital more efficient, like lending and borrowing in the same time and go delta neutral or something close?
Yeah.
So we not lose on our investment, but provide liquidity and get loan and get more points while we are farming in that way.
Yeah.
Like, is there a strategy like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like, the safest way probably just to do stables, right? Just
Yes.
deposit stables, right?
Mhm.
And then you forget about it. You don't have to manage it. If you want to do borrows, we recently reduced borrow fees to 0%.
Yeah,
So it's actually a really good
that's
time
why I asked.
to
Because
kind of
I saw
explore
borrow
that.
at 0.
Yeah. If you have a bit more risk, so I made a post recently, which maybe I can find. I'll find it later and post it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I was basically showing the breakdown of like, here's how to maximize your points per dollar. At that time, Solana was still like -3% borrow rate, so you actually got incentivized to borrow. So one thing you could have done, and you could still do this because you're getting a lot of points and rewards per borrow, is you could borrow. Let's say you deposit stables AUSD into Sweeland. Maybe you borrow Solana on Sui, and then you go to Save, our original Solend lending platform, it's now called Save,
Mm-hmm.
and you deposit that Solana, you swap it for our LSD, Save Sol, and you're getting pretty good ROI there. So you're getting 11%. So that could be another way to like really stack the rewards, but obviously there's some collateral management involved there, right? So I wouldn't advise it for everybody, but that's one exciting thing you could do. For example.
Yeah, and in this way we can as well farm more points. It's more risky, and the downside of this strategy that we just show you guys is you need to manage on daily basis your positions. What that means, you need to check the funding rates, you need to check the API, APR, what is the numbers, and if the numbers change to worse or to better, and in that way you will prevent losing your capital or make your risk even lower. So we have a strategy there as well. Gid just show you how we can farm more points. It's a great for capital efficiency, that for people that are more risk averse and know how to manage their positions on daily basis. And that's a crucial. If you want, the best way is to stable your deposit and go to stables, and you don't need to be worried about anything, and you will get APR, and you will get points for Soon token and for airdrop. So we can go more into this now.
Yeah. So the other campaign, so for the Sweeland one, top 1,000 people will get their share of 10,000 of Send, our token.
And we have 2 weeks.
The same campaign is. Sorry, say that again.
And we have 2 weeks for that.
So the campaign started on Thursday. It's going until the end of the month. So it makes sense. If I were you guys, if you have time today, I would just deposit today because you're earning all these additional rewards in addition to the 10,000 campaign, right?
Yeah.
You're earning giveaway points. Yeah. So the other campaign is this. It's the same thing. So top 1,000 depositors on Steam. This is our AMM, and same thing. You can go to any pair here. We've got some really good APRs here. So we go to, I think probably the highest for Steam points. So that's also going to be part of our second airdrop. Steam parts, I think, are probably like the best ROI in points right now. I think the SUI USDC pool is probably the highest reward. But the cool thing about, as you were talking about capital efficiency earlier, Vincent, the cool thing is that about Steam is we actually redeposit the assets into SUIland. So you're actually getting additional yield on the assets itself.
And that's the
So
whole process. The whole process is automated. We just need to deposit on Steam as well. Perfect. We don't need to do anything. Okay.
That's right. Obviously, like this is SUI USDC, so like there's a risk of impermanent loss, right? So like, but I think if you're bullish on SUI long term, this is probably a good pool to be in, because you'll be slowly selling out. Another good pair, probably the best pair I think on available is the Walrus pool. So Walrus is kind of like SUI's Filecoin project.
Mm-hmm.
It came out 2 months ago, and it's had really good price action, and like the rewards on this are insane. So like you're literally getting 3x rewards. You got Steam points, you're getting Walrus rewards and S3 rewards. Then you're getting the additional APR from SUIland. And if you're doing this backpack thing, that's additional send rewards. So pretty stacked opportunity in my opinion. And then so you can see, we actually show you this. We actually shipped this today. We show you how much of it is deposited on SUIland live. So pretty
and
cool.
This is exactly why Armani made post yesterday that airdrop meta is over. You need to use protocol in order to get money. And this is like, in my opinion, the more fair case, because I'm your user, I'm providing liquidity, I'm getting APR in my return, plus I'm getting ROI, free ROI from airdrop that will happen in 2 weeks. And this is like why we made that, not me, but Armani first, and then I made a post why airdrop meta is over. We need now to become users. It's not enough only to show up on timeline and make a post about SUIland to get send token or SUI token. This is like the best and perfect way and the most fair way in my opinion, because I'm getting free ROI from my capital, which is crazy. Like this is 10 times better than depositing money in bank or whatever. And this is why we are in crypto. The yield is crazy, the opportunities are crazy, and opportunities are everywhere. We just need to make sure that we are working with good teams and teams that are here to stay. And that's why we are here today, Giddy showing us how the whole process is working. So sorry for interrupt again. Please continue.
Yeah, all good. So that's Steam. That's our new AMM. And so you can kind of I linked it in the chat. There's like a tweet where we explain basically how you can participate and earn rewards. So I hope you guys decide to park some funds onto SUI, onboard onto SUIBit, and I'll go on to our third product, which is Spring SUI. This is our LST. So if you want to stake, basically, I don't know. I think everyone here probably knows what an LST is, right? But like, rather than natively staking to secure SUI or Solana, right? You can use LSTs, and then you have kind of a coupon you can use in DeFi, right? And so we have a bunch of other projects which have created LSTs with Spring SUI, which is our LST protocol, and we recently enabled the ability to make your own LST. So I think if you're down, Vincent, why don't we make Vincent SUI now, and then I could send you like the stuff later, the admin cap. Actually, you know what, Vincent? Are you able to share your screen? Because I think it'd be better if you did this.
I can't, because last time something's fucked up with my stream for some reason. I don't know what happened. That's why I ask you if you can do it, not on my behalf, but on your end.
I'll do it, and then I'll find a way to send you like basically the admin cap so you can manage this later.
Yeah, that's fine. No worries about it.
I'm not holding you hostage.
Yeah. So we are showing today that you can create and launch your own token here. This is not financial advice. This is like just an example. So don't don't do anything. I mean right now, because we're just checking how everything works here, and we are showing that you can create LST as well. On SUI.
Yeah, so we're making Vincent stake SUI. If you want to do like, what the description be?
Mad fucking lad.
Mad fucking lad on SUI.
With O instead of you. Mad fucking lad.
Huh?
Mad fucking.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. you can choose different validators. So we by default choose the Sweeland one.
Okay.
You can choose different unstaking fees. So
Okay.
we recommend not having a cost to stake because that's kind of like rugging people.
Mm-hmm.
Unstaking, we the minimum we require is 2 basis points.
Yeah, 2
And you
bips.
can do performance fee. So you can actually you'll get a cut of the staking yield. So this is actually a really cool way to like support people without making a meme coin where you can get rugged and there's more volatility. This is literally just going to be Sui or Vincent Sui. So yeah, if we're ready to go, we can just deploy this.
Yep. And everything, we basically just need to input name, symbol, and description, and PFP or what the picture of a coin, and we are ready to go. Everything is
Yes, I'm
everything
approving.
is automated.
I think you have to sign like 3 or 4 transactions. So I'm just signing that right now.
Okay.
Okay, so the LST has been created. So oh, has it not showed up yet? 1 second.
I'm telling you guys, Matt Vincent is cursed account.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Psst.
Backpack drugged us.
Yeah, give me a sec.
No worries, no worries. We are here for this today, so it's fine.
But let me just ping my engineer.
As you can see, guys, we did a beta testing right now, so we find one bug and we are going to fix it later today.
I will figure out what the issue is.
No
I
worries.
think it might take like 2 minutes to load.
Yep.
Let me reconnect.
Maybe it didn't work with Backpack, I don't know.
Could be. That was the source one. Okay, I'll figure out.
Okay, perfect. We going back.
Okay. They said it might take up to an hour. They're
Okay.
fixing the backend right now.
Okay, perfect.
So
So
that's
maybe by the end of the AMA we can find the token, but everything was created,
Sure.
so it just needs some time to load and to show up and to pop up. And tell us more, because we are still struggling with liquid staking and everything. Can you dive deeper about what is liquid staking, for example, and why we should use it, and why we should not keep our coins and our capital in wallet, but do capital efficiency with our investment and with our money, so we can understand the whole process, what is LST and why we should use it, because with LST, amazing thing is our capital is at our disposal while being staked in the same time, and this is like amazing stuff. So he will Giddy will dive us deeper on LST and why each and every one of us should use our capital to work for us while we are sleeping. And this is how we made in this space. This is the only way, guys.
Yeah, so I believe on so I'll caveat, which is I'm not technical, so
yeah,
I may talk about things in a simple way, right?
Yeah, the most simplest way.
Yeah. So on Solana, right, you don't have instant unstaking. So you have there's like I think 3 days is at the withdrawal period, right? So
yeah, something
there's like this period where there's unstaking, and so that's why you have AMMs, right? So you can swap out and you have that liquidity. With SpringSuite, we shipped an update where previous to SpringSuite, you didn't have instant unstaking, and then now you do. So with SpringSuite, which is our upgrade, and so it's just a bit safer because there's like basically no risk of depegs. And so the way it works is, if you look at this flow chart, you as a user, you mint SSUI, which is our LST with SUI, goes into the SpringSuite smart contract, and then it's delegated to a validator, right? So it's like Sweeland validator, for example. And if you want to unstake, you redeem SUI with S3. It's pretty simple. So it's just like a stake unstake, flow. And yeah, that's basically how Sui is securing the network right now with LFPs. Obviously, you can natively stake into Sui, but then your capital's locked up, right? And so, as you're saying, Vincent, with an LFP, you have a lot of flexibility. You can start to use those assets in DeFi. So if you go back to Tweeland, we actually have our LFP, but we have other project LFPs. So you can get up to 70% LTV on those assets. So and I think it's pretty good because you're not missing out. There's like kind of an opportunity cost if you just have it staked natively. Basically since we shipped this, we basically became the largest LSD within like 45 days. I'd have to look at the chart once we shipped this last year. So it grew really fast. It grew a lot faster than we were expecting.
And Steem, your sub product, is automated market maker that provide deep liquidity that we will use, right? That's how the whole stuff is built and how it's working, right?
Yeah. So Steem is a super fluid AMM is what we call it. So it uses the fluid model, which means that the funds are redeposited back on Sweeland. So if we go back to here, right? Yeah, you can see that it's gaining additional yield from the deposits on Sweeland.
Yeah, so, perfect. And that's
Steem is still new, so we actually have probably shipping. So like a lot of the pools right now in Steem are kind of like a Uniswap V2 hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
But we're actually about to ship this like Oracle quoter, and that'll be kind of similar to concentrated liquidity, but a bit better in times of volatility. That one I'll probably won't be able to go into too much detail, but probably in the next week or two we'll be making a bigger announcement about that, and you'll see a lot of volume on these pairs. Some of them are live right now, actually. Let me find one that has good volume. Yeah, so like this one has pretty crazy volume for like pretty low TVL. If you look at this, like 149K volume on just 20K, whereas if you look at the other one, it's not as much comparatively. So this is coming soon, basically. But yeah, lots of cool stuff to look forward to. Basically, we have 2 weeks left until the end of our season 2, and then early June, you can expect an airdrop. So kind of still some time to kind of accumulate some points, some rewards, especially if you're using Backpack Wallet. And then our Roulette NFTs also will be getting their second airdrop. So each Roulette gets 333 Send. So what's the price of that? Let's see. Market's down today, huh?
A little bit. Not great news. A lot of liquidation down the line.
Yeah, I saw that. So what's that? Okay, so a little bit of an airdrop. So each roulette will be getting that much in our next airdrop. So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a lot of different ways you guys can get involved in the Sweeland ecosystem on Sui roulettes, and then depending on your risk tolerance, you can even bridge stuff back to stave on Fauna.
And tell us more about we mentioned Rootlets and Sand Token. Sand Token will be the airdrop for stakers, for people that deposit, for Rootlet holders, and so on in 2 weeks. And tell us more about the Sand coin.
So the Send token, so our Send points, they'll convert to the Send token, and then the token itself, it will be the kind of like we have one token that's going to be securing value across all of our products. We announced our first big buyback, I think 2 weeks ago, and so we'll be looking to do revenue sharing, like in the form of buybacks and stuff going forward. So that'll be one reason to have that exposure if you're interested.
And buyback option that you offered, like it will be used for what? For providing liquidity and airdropping more to the holders, or what's the incentive of you doing a buyback? Because we saw with few projects that buyback program didn't work well for the users.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like obviously we were buying back, and then those funds go back in the treasury, and then like you said for future distributions. When we did our airdrop, we did something called the M drop, which is there was like a basically there's like a penalty to exercise and acquire your airdrop. We raised quite a bit of, I think we raised 1 million SUI with that, and so we've been using that to do buybacks. And so it's still early days. I think Sui DeFi is still it's still new, right? So compared to Solana DeFi, Ethereum DeFi, a lot of these tokens are quite mispriced. I feel like I think like there's too much of a premium on Ethereum DeFi, and I think like obviously Solana DeFi is priced really well, and Sui DeFi I think there's a bit of a discount right now. So I think a lot of this stuff is undervalued if you're looking at TVL by FTV. You can use different ways of looking at this stuff, but yeah, I think if you're bullish on Sui, I think we would definitely be a good hold to have, for obviously not financial advice.
Yeah, and the ROP mechanism that you introduced and created, it actually incentive a long-term holders, because
That's right.
Yeah, we are receiving penalty if we unstake or do whatever. Some people will call that Ponzi, but it's not Ponzi. It's the way to align our visions with yours. And if we are bullish on Sui and what you are building, we will not have problem with that incentive, right? And that M drop mechanism is amazing in a way if you provide us a clear view and clear reason to do it, right? So we will buy, stake, hold, and we are not going to be penalized for unstaking earlier or whatever, which aligns with your vision if we are bullish on what you are building, right? And that was the reason why you made M drop mechanism, right?
Yeah, and I think also just like it's not just us, so we kind of pioneered it, but I think a lot of other projects on Sui are now also using it and they're leveraging it as well. So obviously, like if you're a speculator, you're just trader, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much. For us, it's I think a lot of there's a certain segment of people who just want to flip and sell, and that's fine. And you probably would have made good money because I think we hit like $4 when we did our launch, right? So yeah, right now we're still in that like price discovery mode with like reducing that sell pressure. So yeah, we'll see how things go. But I'm pretty excited to be
the sell pressure that you mentioned is one of the problems that we are seeing in this space. Why you think we have a sell pressure on projects? Sorry for not easy question, but I am investor in this space, and I've been here for a long time. And when we see the project falling down, we have to sell. And we don't see a lot of projects offering us incentive to hold, buy, or invest more. And this is like one of the problems we have in this space. So if you can dive a little bit more on that, would be amazing to hear directly from you.
Yeah, so my personal opinion is obviously I think like we've seen a lot of noise about regulations. I think part of the thing is just like regulations holding people back. I think it's DeFi protocols. There's probably like we really need like the revenue switch or fee switch to actually happen on some of the bigger protocols like on Ethereum. And then if everything's fine, I think you'll see a lot of other protocols also make that change. Especially something like Uniswap, right? That's like based in the US, where they have a lot of exposure to US regulation. So you've seen a lot of chatter about that. So people are saying, "Oh yeah, you've got some new bills coming in," but I think none of that has actually happened so far. So I think it's just slowly heading in that direction. You're talking about all sorts of big funds and tokenizing stuff, putting it on chain. So I just think it's just going to take time. Another thing I think is just like you are seeing just so much more alts, available now than there were 5 years ago. So it really does, I guess, like it might be harder for. Basically, it's going to be 80-20, right? 80% crap, 20% like gem projects, maybe. And so maybe we'll just have to see like it'll be much higher competition. So yeah, I think it could be a mix of those two, and just off the top of my head.
Yeah, perfect, nice, and very very easily explained so everyone can hear. Regulators playing a big role in this space, and the future is with the ones who go with regulators, no matter if we like that or not. But this is the only way how we can prosper as a whole, as a community in crypto. And do you want? We have Vincent. Nice. Now spend that
All right.
97
All right.
Sui. Spend
Yeah,
that
so
97 on
We're
Vincent.
gonna stake it. Yeah, Vincent Sui. There we go.
Did you guys bought
And it's now
Vincent?
staked.
Nice. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, so let me get the contract address. Yeah, so I'll post this in the chat and you guys can go wild. Yeah.
Bye guys.
So-
Vincent Sui, you can go wrong. Trust me, bro.
Oh wait, can I not post links in here? Is that not allowed?
I think it's not, but what we can do?
Let me change. Let me send it to you in the
in DMs.
in the Telegram.
Or yeah, send in Telegram and I will post. 1 second. Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
So this is the contract address or coin type.
Mm-hmm. 1 second. Yeah, I posted. Sorry, my stream interrupted for a second. Yeah, I posted on chat, and we
Post the Spring Sui link because then people can can stake with that link if they want.
Yeah. I did. And
I only see the.
you only see.
Sui scan link.
Yeah. 1 sec.
Yeah, do this.
The second one as well that you sent me. Spring Sui. Yeah.
Sorry, the first one, Sui Vincent Sui.
Yeah. The first one. 1 second. Let me send in chat. Okay, it worked. I sent. So yep, we did that. So we had to spend 15 minutes so it show up on blockchain, and we managed to create our own token. So this is like another product that Suiland building, and we are going to see in future how this works, because it's an amazing way to, if you would like to build something like this, it's a great way to do it, an easy way to do on Sui to deploy your token. Of course, as we know, this is like just, in my case, this is like an example and meme coin. It's not financial advice, and we just show you guys.
But this isn't a meme coin. This is an LST.
LST. Sorry. LST.
Yeah. So this is very difficult to rug, I think.
Yeah, it's impossible because we have the whole everything is already programmed not to rug, so it's be used only as a LST, so we can use for our capital efficiency. And do you want to go? I mean, I recorded this, so I will send. We don't need to go once again how the whole process is going for those that joined now. I will post later the whole guide and how you can do it when I do a recap of the AMA. And back to send token, we have a lot of things to cover there. Tell us, is there any other utility outside of providing governance and being part of your project, and what's the other utility that we can get from Send?
Right now you can also kind of stake it on Suiland. So you can it's by just depositing. It's not proper staking, but you can also get points there. So I think there's you can also do that. So it's a bit better than like locking it up, but that's also an option if you just want to like accumulate more Send. So I think that's also an option. Yeah, the governance stuff, we haven't talked too much about that at the moment just because I think the tooling doesn't really exist on Sui yet, so we're kind of working towards that. So we'll have some more announcements on that at some point. But Sui still being a new chain, a lot of stuff needs to be made on the tooling side.
There is
Solana, obviously you have a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, you just need to work more on those tools that will be available for all of us, so we make the whole process easier and more utility to provide to everyone. And I would like to go back on Rootlets, like we don't know where to buy them. Can you show us the
Oh.
marketplace for NFTs, how we can buy, how we
Yes.
can participate?
So
And this is like the legit
NFT
one, Tradeport.
Yeah, so Tradeport is pretty much like the only one that works. I think one closed down, and the other one I would recommend it. So they actually support a bunch of chains,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously Sui is the one we're talking about. So yeah, really just one of the top ones. We were like number one for like 3 or 4 months. But yeah, we're one of the top NFTs right now still. So if you go to Rootlets, I'll also share this link.
And sorry for interrupt again. Before you showed us that we have the Vol token in Sui Land that we can deposit as well. So how is the Vol token connected with Tradeport? Do you know maybe or?
Well, Walrus and Tradeport.
Yes. Is that official
think this
token
is
of
just-
theirs or something else?
This is So this is Tradeport doesn't have a token. This is like if you want to stake Walrus to Tradeport's validator.
Mm-hmm.
We also have something similar on our website. So
Yeah.
if you go to see like how you can stake
Yeah,
Wall
because
natively on our app.
I saw the Vol Rus was the highest APR on your platform. That's why I asked.
Yes. Yeah. So Walrus rewards are pretty good on ours. So the thing is, if you're staking natively, you're not going to get those rewards. You're going to, I guess some alpha is, people have said that there's going to be a second airdrop for Walrus native stakers. So if you want to optimize for the second airdrop, you can natively stake, but then you're like stuck. I think the withdrawing period is like 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So you've got to evaluate if that's what you want to do. But yeah, so these are rootlets. You can buy them. Let's say if I wanted to buy them, I say I'm too poor to buy them on this wallet. But yeah,
But
the floor price.
The floor price is as we talk, like it's fine if you want to invest and if you want to get something back plus be the part of the blue chip community there. I like the art. I'm the Pixel Maxi, and it's a crazy one because it's steampunk pigs with the steampunk attributes, which is amazing.
It's very exotic collection. And the thing is, there's a lot of lore about when we did the mint. So like I said, it was my first project, and basically like we're a DeFi team, right? So all of our engineering resources were focused on DeFi, and so Rooter was like, you can't use our engineers, you got to find your own engineers. So we talked to some other teams, and they like referred us to this other team, and then started working with this team to do the engineering, and then they ended up like outsourcing to like a Fiverr team. It's like on mint day, basically, like the mint was like bricked, and like it was like really stressful. And so we had to like delay the mint again, and I lost a lot of sleep that week basically. And people were also pissed at us because we priced them in at like, I think the whitelist was like 69 Sui, which is like about $70 back then.
Yeah, back then.
And then they're like, oh, this is too expensive. You damn Solana people coming to Sui. You guys are like rugging Sui people, blah blah blah.
Yeah, classic Solana manlets mindset.
Yeah. And then it actually took us like 2 weeks to mint out fully because of like the technical issues, and then also people were like flooding us, and they're like, "What is this bullshit art?" But basically we ended up minting out right before Sui had its crazy price action.
Mm-hmm.
So the timing ended up working out, and then I think we hit the peak at like, it was like $2,000, $2,200.
Yeah, something like that.
$60
$550 Sui was the price on the top.
Yeah. So pretty cool. And then the other thing that people were fighting was like, how did you guys spend $200,000 on the art?
Yeah, but imagine people funded you for 200K, and we've seen people in Solana that rug for 10,000 Sol, and no one said a word. Like, the projects and stuff, and there was like a tons of exploiters. So I don't know why that happened, but it's fine. We proved them that they were wrong, and they faded the blue chip collection. And I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry, not sorry. And tell us more. What was the exact problem when you minted out? Like, what was the technical issues that you couldn't mint out?
the technical issue, if I remember, is basically like, yeah, like so we use like a Fiverr dev, and so like they're basically like the contract just stopped working after 100 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what happened was we gave the whitelist tickets, and the whitelist tickets became useless after a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't working as they were supposed to. So, I'm answering some questions.
Yeah, I see questions as well, but you can continue and I will try to find all the questions.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, basically, contract mint stuff is bricked, very stressful,
Yeah,
but it worked out. So.
And we know how it goes with this phase. If something like that happened, you're going to have a crazy thought.
Yeah, the thing is, like, we kept joking how it'd be funny to pretend like we had technical issues and like have like a botched mint, like it'd be bullish, and then of course we invited that on ourselves.
Yeah, that's crazy because we know that how it goes if you make a joke in this space. So it's even worse if people don't understand your type of joke or shit post or whatever. Like it's even crazier. And people asked, is it possible to stake the rootlets for something?
No, we don't have any staking right now because the team is very much like no utility, just art is the vibe. One of the things that we have been able to do is Rootlets is probably the most airdropped NFT on Sui.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like not even just talking about floor price. If you had minted for like 69 Sui, that's like $70. You probably got like $400 or $500 back in airdrop. You know, up until now. Then the floor price has gone up too, and then you have our own send airdrop on top.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. I think like if you've been there from the beginning, you're probably super happy. If you want to join today, you can. Obviously, I can't. There's no guarantees that we'll have like that level of airdrops, but I think we will continue to get airdrops and whitelists and stuff just from our position in the market. So yeah, I think you guys obviously have a really cool community here, and we also have a pretty very active Telegram community. So
yeah, not only Telegram. I've seen on Twitter that your community is noisy. And are you spending time with your community, or like what's your role in Rootlets at the end of the day? Like, are you still there in trenches with community?
Yeah,
are you still making them happy?
Yeah, I'm still there. Like, it's really hard because like when you're in crypto, you often want to just touch grass. But I think like when you're involved in a community like that, like even if I want to touch grass, I will probably check in and say messages, on my days off. But I think we have a few different groups. We have a few different like ambassadors. People have become ambassadors for Suland. We have a Rootlets Maxi group. So if you own over 10 Rootlets, you get invited to the Maxi group. And there's a bit of alpha in there too. What else? We probably should do more spaces. Maybe this space today, this experience is making me think we should do more spaces and stuff. So maybe that's something I'll have to do going forward.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to have a Rootlet community here, so I can bring them on stage, your most active community members, so they can speak about their experience. Because one of my favorite part of this job is talking with the people in this space and seeing their perspective and what it's all about. And with that being said, let's go to Suland Capsule and see what is this all about. Because I would like to learn.
Yeah. So our capsule NFTs actually maybe go back to.
Yeah, that's one.
Oops. Yeah. So these are our NFTs. Okay, so we give a bunch of different NFTs out. These are Suland capsules. They were really big in season 1. Like people went crazy for this. They were like flipping them like M&Ms. Like yeah. So there's 3 different tiers. There's common, uncommon, and rare. In season 2, the pink one is the common one, and then we have a green one and a platinum one. And so basically, we're giving one of these away today. So you let me know how you want to hand that out, Vincent. But we'll be giving that away to one Mad Lad, and these will convert into tokens for season 2. So these will give you should be a decent airdrop.
Okay, so
basically we give these out every week, every 2 weeks for community contributions. So we reward people with these NFTs. And so, yeah, a lot of people have gotten some cool stuff. If you make content, if you do like a technical, you build on top of Sweetland, like integrate with us, we give you the rare ones. And so, yeah, that's the Sweetland capsules right now.
So Armani received a rare one, bearish on founders who take capsules for themselves. So you will give me one. I'm joking. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I would like to know, you mentioned that the only way how we can get them is to help create content, build integrations, or that's the only way how we can get them, and to buy on secondary, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, you could buy on secondary. I don't recommend buying on secondary, but yeah, it looks like the price is like pretty good right now. So like, you could sell it. We put a bit of an M drop fee on season 2 to kind of like protect people from speculating too much, because I think we do give these out like relatively easy. Like you just have to make cool content. I think we've got one guy. He was here. One of our community members, Kaleidos. He makes like really good memes, and like I've just been giving him a lot because like they literally crack me up. And so memes are good too. Like I love a solid meme. So like yeah, these are the common ones.
And we are still able to receive them if we create content, memes, or whatever we need to
so
do. Like, it's not
you
over.
have until it's not over. I think you have, let's see, the 19th. So yeah, if you want to make some content about like maybe Brulitz or Backpack and Sweetland, the collab, or Steam and Backpack, I'd say you have until this week.
Do I have permission to create content for lads so they can make this?
Yeah. So we'll be giving probably at least one more round of capsules, basically like later tonight. I'll just do a giant thread where I highlight everything that everyone's done. We're going to have at least one more next week. Maybe I'll do a second one, just like a bonus one. And so there's still like, 2 weeks of time for you guys to get something in.
Don't worry, guys.
Yeah,
by the end of this AMA, we will get more, trust me. Anyway, what capsules contain?
Capsules will be able to convert into our next airdrop in Send, our token. Yeah, so Kaleidos in the group there is explaining it. So yeah, it's a pretty cool way to get rewarded, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this is like an amazing incentive and an amazing way how you design this campaign, because people like gamification and gamified way of this is just, I don't know, like a trophy in my case, and I would like to see projects doing more of those type of campaigns and contents. And as you can see, like you did an amazing job, because you created your own collection at the end of the day, and it give you free marketing, free content, and at the end of the day you reward people a lot with those. So this is like really amazing what you created there, and it just show you that you paid a lot of attention to everything. And when I see projects doing those type of stuff, there is no way that I'm not bullish on this. And this is like a not shill. I don't. We have Git here on Spaces, and this is like not. Sorry for my English, but not dick sucking. But this is like why I am bullish on builders who create something for this space. Like you see that there is put a lot of effort into creating two NFT projects. They created already 3 products, and they offer a lot of liquidity, and they're here to stay. Plus they integrated with Backpack, which is like cherry on the top. And this is like why I'm so bullish right here, right now. Thank you for sharing all the alpha today. And if you want, we can go to a few questions. Someone asked if there is a way to do a side one staking on Sui. Single side staking on Swiland. Yeah.
Oh, single side.
Yeah, single side. It's
single side staking for what?
It's Jezed, and he will probably get capsule. I don't know. Probably we will see. So show us that if it's possible.
So there's no like single side staking probably on Sweetland, like just means like depositing into Sweetland, right? So for Walrus, right?
Yep.
You're getting a much higher APR than you would have native staking.
Mm-hmm.
So you can deposit into Walrus. Walrus is 0% LTV though, so you can't. It's an isolated asset, so
yep.
You can't like collateralize with it. And yeah, so I think like single site staking, like simple deposit is basically the form it takes on Sweeland. For Theme, it's obviously AMM, so you might get impermanent loss, right?
Yep.
Depending on the fluctuations of the price. We are going to add stable pair soon, so like stable coins and like Bitcoin to Bitcoin probably in the next 2 weeks. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm basically waiting to move my stables, when we launch that. So I've been waiting for that for a long time. But yeah, that's probably the two ways you can go about it.
And I didn't cover that part. The whole protocol is fully decentralized. Like there is no way that you can pull the liquidity out. Like all is backed by contracts and the nodes, right? Like
Yeah. So we're fully we're audited. We're open source. So we're actually like I think the main open source. Like our rivals are not open source. So we really pride ourselves on that. So yeah, I would. Those are some of the reasons why you may want to go with us. Some of our competitors have forked our code or they've rugged their users on rewards. So we definitely try and do right by our users and community.
okay, and I didn't ask you, not personal question, but are you satisfied and happy how the whole process and the whole product is built so far by Sweeland? Like,
Oh,
or you're not happy or satisfied how the things are going right now?
No. I mean, like, I mean, most of there's a huge percentage of my net worth on Sweeland and the products, and I wouldn't do that unless I had faith in the team. And obviously, like I worked there, so I have skin in the game. And I do think I think our UX using our products is definitely like some of the best out there, not just in Sui but in all of DeFi. So hopefully, you guys get a chance to experience that yourself. Using Backpack and Sweeland and whatnot.
Yeah, we did, because that's the main thing and the process that Backpack tried to solve, like easy UX and UI for end user, because we mentioned that many times. The crypto is complex for average Joe, for new people who join the space. Like you need wallets, you need seed phrases, you need everything, and Backpack and Sui try to solve. I was early on Bluefin, for example, and I was trading their perps like a crazy, like a maniac. And the experience was amazing, especially knowing it's a new product, it's a new chain, and how smooth everything worked. And this is like exactly what each and every one of us trying to build here, because I cannot onboard my friends in crypto because I don't know how to explain them how they can use it, and this is like a huge problem.
Yeah.
So tell us, in your case, the importance of UX and easy UI. Like, why are you paying such a big attention to this, and how that is important? And you are the one who worked with OpenSea. You were early. We are still early. We products and projects didn't made a big attention to UX and UI at the end of the day. So tell us more on the importance of UX and UI on crypto.
I mean, I think like when something is just like, if you're, how do I say this? Like if you think of us as like a bank, right? You're trusting us with your money. You don't want to go to the bank and have to be dicked around by like lots of like complications and like clicking through a lot of stuff. It should be really like simple and easy to understand, especially when you're doing things like on-chain trustlessly. So I think, nobody wants to like have to deal with this, like, when you have to like explain the internet or like even just crypto to like someone who's like age 65, like, your uncle or your aunt, who they don't understand any of that stuff. Like their level of like not understanding crypto or the internet is not how like the UX should be for people, going forward, in my opinion, right? So I think a lot of we really just pride ourselves in making it like very intuitive and have easy UX, because I don't think you're gonna acquire new users or customers that way, right?
Exactly, and that's what we're trying to solve here, because as you mentioned, our aunt, our mother, father, no matter what, like they don't know, they don't understand the internet, and imagine crypto at the end of the day over the top. So definitely the most important thing is solving UX and UI problems and wallets and like seed phrases and everything. And we are going to cover that more in future and how everything goes. And again, we didn't have enough time to cover more like how many people working for Sui, for Suiland, sorry, and how many people.
We have a team of like 10 people.
Uh huh.
So pretty lean team, very very like startup team.
Yeah, yeah. And how hard was to onboard the top engineers in this space? Because we got an AMA with Monad founder, and he told me the crazy story that onboarding a good devs and teams in this crypto space is impossible because they are all reserved
Yeah.
for Google. And I asked him how they are reserved for Google, and he said they're going to pay them a blanco check, like an infinite amount of money, and they don't need to do
Yeah.
anything, so they remove them from competition. And I was like, what the actual
Yeah.
fuck? And that was crazy to me, because why should I work with Suiland if I can go to Google and work for $1 million per year, for example, and doing nothing?
Yeah.
So how hard was that part? And as we
Yeah.
can see, you have a job offer which is 450k
Yeah.
per year, which is
Yeah, we have a few openings right now. We're hiring a few smart contract folks. So this is our SWE engineer role. We have another one just for like general smart contract. So you're Solana dev, Rust. You can probably pick up some of the smart contract stuff pretty quick. But yeah, I think for us, we by choice are a lean team, so we like to keep it lean and everyone has high ownership. If you go to a place like Google or those places, you have a lot of middle managers, and even then, you're probably going to get laid off by AI in a few years, maybe. I don't know, like how fast they're making those changes. You saw Microsoft; there's just a bunch of layoffs. So
yeah.
we're very much, very ownership focused. We're very lean, remote, asynchronous. So a lot of things that I like, especially after working at really big companies. It's a good group of people. So yeah, if not to shill too much, but if you guys are interested and qualified, please do consider applying.
See you guys. See guys. We have Alpha here again. If you are Mad Lad and you are a software engineer, you can DM me and I will send your CV to Gid and maybe you can work for them. So if anyone asks you what is the utility of Mad Lads, this is utility. This is your chance to have a job and to have connection in this space. So ignore the noise and be process oriented. We rocking and rolling, and as you can see, we have a great alpha today and great opportunities for each and every one of us who is active and here in space. So we already spent 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I don't want to bug you more. If you have more time to tell us what's the future of Suiland and what are your vision for the future before we close the spaces.
Yeah. Maybe just to wrap up, like I said, we have a lot of cool product stuff coming up. So I think, especially with Steam, like Steam is kind of really going to be growing quite a bit in the next few weeks, especially. We actually, one thing I didn't really go into, you can actually launch your own meme coin as easily as you could make the Vincent LFD, right? So I just try to do that.
Yeah.
I decided that we shouldn't do that just because it's more risky, right? But
yeah, but this is just this is just an example and like live preview how everything works. So let's make Vincent shit.
Yeah. So Vincent, I don't know.
Symbol put.
Mad meme. I don't know.
Symbol put Vinny. Or poop.
Wait,
is
poop?
Fine. Poop is fine.
Yeah. So yeah. If you wanted to do that, you can basically do so. Add fucking lab poop. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can burn the LP token if you want. You can choose the code asset, and so so you could do Vincent poop / Vincent Sweet. As the. So I don't have enough Vincent Sweet on this account, but like somebody could do this, right? So the initial liquidity would be 50 million poop and 10 Vincent Sweet.
Which is
so
amazing.
Somebody could go make this.
Which is amazing thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So and then basically you'll create the token, you'll create the pool immediately, and then the pool will show up here, so you'll be able to see it. So we have a lot of pools. People start making stuff. the meme. Here's the thing: like, it would be really interesting, and it would be interesting to see is just like a lot of Solana people know about. We now we're trying to get the tools where anyone can come onto Sui and make more coins, like no code ways, and so we'll see like how will the Sui ecosystem change or evolve as we get because I think ultimately like people are going to be able to tokenize everything regardless of the laws and all that stuff. It's kind of it may still be a wild west. So I'm just curious, like now with these tools being available to everybody, not just insiders, like people are going to be able to make all sorts of coins, tokenize anything they want. And so yeah, whether that's Poop or Vincent Sui, yeah, it would be interesting to see how many Mad Lads maybe might create a few of their own tokens on Sui. I don't know.
Yeah, and is there any incentive for this as well, or it just like basic uh, token creation and that's it? Because we've seen some few other launch pads that
Yeah.
That give some incentive for creating, so they prevent dump and maybe prevent additional value.
So this is just like the V1 of the launch. We are working on some like launchpad features, so maybe stay tuned for that. Where I think like you need stuff like anti-sniping and whatnot and stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that stuff. But I don't have any firm detail on that at the moment. But yeah, I would expect to see some cool stuff on that front. And so yeah, just on the product side, we're shipping stuff every day, making fixes or like improvements rather. And then yeah, the Rootless community is growing. Sui is growing. So yeah, I think if you're doing anything on Sui, we are about like 25% of all the TVL on Sui. So it makes sense to you'll probably be interacting with us in some way or another.
Perfect, and thank you once again for being here today. I will do a recap and I will post a lot of content about this. I need to earn that capsule at the end of the day. So we covered.
Well, I sent you one.
Yeah,
I sent you one already for your post, the 9/11.
I know, but I need to earn that. Like this is not earned yet.
Yeah. Well, I have the one capsule that I'll you let me know who wins.
Yeah, I
I'll
found.
send you guys one of the Mad Lads. So
we found the winner. It's Jazid, and I will give you later his wallet. So and
sure.
You promised me that I can create a campaign for lads, so we can get more capsules at the end of the day, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Nice. I have green light to create that. So perfect. Thank you once again for taking your time. I know that you are busy like every founder, and we got an amazing AMA. I hope you enjoyed because I really did. You helped me understand better the whole concept. Even I did my part of research, but when I have direct contact with the CEO of the company and how he show the world how everything is built and work, it's always better to have in first hand. So thank you so much for being here today, and I hope we will have more AMAs in future. Would be great after the Send launch to see how everything goes and what went good, what went wrong, and dive deeper more when time comes. Thank you once again for being here today. I hope we will join Rootlets, we will join Sui. Thank you Backpack team for doing an amazing collab and partnership with Sui. You made our life easier as always, because it's easy. And final words for Mad Lads. Gid, thank you once again for being here.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Sui, hopefully. And hopefully you guys can enjoy some capsules and send rewards that may come in the near future.
Thank you once again, Gid. Amazing AMA. I didn't know that we already spent 1 hour to 20 minutes. I thought we are here for 15 or something. And when I look at my clock, it was like, holy fuck, we did more than 1.5 hours. Anyway, thank you once again for being here. Thank you lots for being here. A lot of great stuff is cooking. We are going to crush. We are going to stay relevant, which is most important in this space. And let's rock and roll. Fuck it. Mad Lads on top. Thank you, everyone. See you soon, guys. Thank you, Gid, once again.
All right. Take care, guys.
See you soon. Thank you, lads. See you soon. See you on channel. See you on Twitter. We are going to crush. Let's fucking go.